This talk is sponsored by Livepeer. Livepeer is a decentralized video streaming network that provides the necessary infrastructure for broadcasting video over the internet at a fraction of the cost to today's cloud infrastructure. Learn more at livepeer.org.
Hi everybody, my name is Eric Tang and I'm the co-founder and CTO at Livepeer. Today I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Web3 video stack. This is a emerging kind of new technology stack that we've been all building for a long time and that we're very passionate and excited about. Hope that I can share a little bit of more information around this and also to share some more details about what can be accomplished with this new technology stack. A little bit about Livepeer before we dive in. Livepeer is building the video streaming layer of Web3. We've been around since 2017, and we've been working on this problem for a little while. The goal is for us to enable this new decentralized video streaming application and ecosystem, it's a developer-facing product, developer-facing network, an open source ecosystem. Right, people can use Livepeer to build video applications. It's not exactly like YouTube or Twitch, but more like an infrastructure or developer tool that allows people to build like a Web3 version of YouTube or Twitch. So today, what we'll cover is, what is the Web3 video stack? Talk about some of the opportunities in the Web3 video stack, in Web3 video, and then I'll share a little bit about what are the developer tools that are available within the Livepeer ecosystem that can help you build a Web3 video application. So what is the Web3 video stack? On the high level, we think of the stack as a combination of technologies that are decentralized and in combination serve as all the different modules that you will need to build a Web3 video application, right? So we have kind of the smart contract layer, and we also have some of the decentralized Web3 infrastructure layer like storage, query, or streaming. Altogether, this is the combination that forms the Web3 video stack. Before we get into details of this, I think it's interesting to just take a quick look back at how we got here today, right? Even though online video is kind of all-consuming today, we can't make our day make through the day without consuming video online. Video online hasn't been around for that long, right? So let's dial the clock back a little bit. Back in 2005, which is merely just 17 years ago, there was a small dating application that was working on a video-based Hot or Not. Hot or Not was kind of maybe the first popular online dating application, right? These two founders were trying to build a video version of it. It was not very successful. Not a lot of people were using this application, so they decided to kind of ditch the dating idea and just focus on creating a website that allows people to upload videos. And they named this application YouTube, right? Very quickly after this pivot, YouTube started growing tremendously. They just within a short 18 months of time, it became the number 5 most popular website in the world. And throughout this time, it was oftentimes the fastest growing website on the internet, period. Right. And some interesting things about YouTube. YouTube has only actually been independent for about 2 years, right? Since the founding. Over time, over that 2 years, raised about $11.5 million. It was burning about $2 million per month when it was being acquired. A large portion of that $2 million was going to kind of paying for the infrastructure bill. And it was acquired by Google back in 2006 for $1.65 billion. And Google, of course, at that time knew which website was growing the fastest. It knew that YouTube had this tremendous potential and they were building an internal video application. It wasn't working out as well, so they acquired YouTube. Right? Coincidentally, a year after the acquisition in 2007, Google introduced this ad model where advertisements will be shown alongside of videos that people upload into YouTube, and there will be a rev share, right, which means the creators of those videos can potentially get a portion of that ad revenue, right? And it started this ad-supported model for online video streaming industry. Another interesting example, just quick 2 years after YouTube was started, there was another company called Justin TV that got started. And at the very beginning, Justin TV was an application that was kind of an online reality TV show, right? The founder of Justin TV attached a webcam on a baseball cap, and then he would wear a backpack walking around 24/7, kind of filming his day and broadcasting it to the internet, and as an experiment. And it was one of the first Y Combinator companies in the world. Unlike YouTube, Justin TV actually struggled in the first 4 years of its existence. Right, they had numerous legal troubles along the way. Lots of people were kind of streaming or uploading kind of copyrighted content, and that was a big issue. The CEO even had to go testify in front of Congress because they were being sued by a lot of these large companies. And so at the end of 4 years, given this kind of tumultuous path, Twitch, they noticed that there was an audience on their platform that was kind of niche, but had a growing trend, right? Which was people watching other people playing video games. At that time, people thought it was very strange, but nevertheless, they wanted to give this a try, so they actually spun out this niche on their website into its own company called Twitch. And of course, right after Twitch was spun out, this community was created. It started growing exponentially. They were very creator focused, right? Focused on the gamers themselves. They created the first application where a live video stream and a live chat can happen at the same time. So the broadcaster can kind of be responding to the live chat in real time. And they really didn't have any, they were able to kind of sidestep the content rights issues a little bit here and create kind of sticky long sessions because people are playing video games, for at least a couple hours, right? And just a quick 3 years after that, Twitch was acquired by Amazon in 2014 for $1 billion. At that time, this was the largest acquisition that Amazon had ever done, right? It took about 20% of the cash position on Amazon's balance sheet. And of course, the second place bidder that Amazon outbid it was Google, who was trying to buy Twitch as the kind of the live streaming product for their YouTube product line. Right? Another interesting example, Netflix. Right, we all know the name of this website. They started a little earlier, but as an online DVD rental business. Right, this back in 1997, where there wasn't really video streaming on the internet yet because it just wasn't the bandwidth wasn't as proliferated at the point. It was a pretty successful business, and when IPO in 2002, they always known kind of video streaming would have been another way to grow the company, but they never really launched a streaming service until 2007. Largely inspired by the success of YouTube, right? And of course, a short 3 years after launching their streaming service, that streaming business surpassed their DVD business in 2010. And Netflix, of course, famously started the streaming war, which is the idea of companies spending a large amount of budget buying and creating original content for their platform, right? So now Disney Plus, Apple TV, all these other streaming services are kind of spending just more and more money into content creation, right? Famously in 2021, Netflix spent $13.6 billion in buying content alone. And they account for about 19% of the bandwidth on the internet today. Some of the lessons that we kind of learned from this short 15, 17 years of history of of online video, right? Well, video is driven by creators, right? We look at all these video streaming websites. Well, they don't. These companies aren't really creating videos themselves, right? Even for the quote-unquote original content that Netflix is creating, most of that content is actually created by independent creators that then get pitched to the Netflix studio, and then the Netflix decides to purchase the rights to that content that then they'll stream on their distribution channel, right? So without creators, these applications would not be here and would not be as profitable as they are today, right? So creators, of course, they're now spending an enormous amount of money to court creators, but at the same time, these are large distribution channels that are able to really negotiate down the take rate, right? So YouTube famously has about a 50% take rate, which means for every $2 that are made on YouTube, usually through advertisement, YouTube takes $1, right? And the creator of the content takes another dollar, right? And of course, this is on average. A lot of times, the long tail creators don't make anything. Right? Another thing to point out is YouTube, video is everywhere, right? We can we can see video is in all the entertainment platforms. Video is also education. Video is in all the e-commerce platforms. And video is in business and personal communication, right? In fact, about 80% of all the internet's traffic today is video. So as we can see, it's the predominant content format of the internet of today. Right? Another thing to point out is that video today is highly centralized. There are about 50 million content creators around the world, out of which about 2 million are professional content creators, which means that's their entire job. Right? If you look at all the content creators, they're spending most of their time on a very few number of platforms, and these platforms know that, right? So they hold all kinds of powers over the content creators. They build up a very arbitrary anti-competitive rules so that other people cannot compete. For example, Twitch famously say that if you want to be a Twitch partner, which means if you want to be able to make money streaming on Twitch, then you have to exclusively stream your content only on Twitch, and you cannot be streaming that at the same time to other platforms. If you get caught by that, you get kicked out of the partnership program, right? So all of these rules are not really good for creators and for content creators, right? And the content creators are realizing this, and as the rise of Web3 is coming, we're starting to see new Web3 video platforms that are coming up, and creators are finding out about this and migrating over to Web3, right? So these are applications that are built on top of Web3 infrastructure and that are Web3 native video applications. And a lot of the benefits here include creators can actually own the content that they create, right? Which means when they upload their video into like an OpenSea, for example, they actually own that content, which means they can take that content and repost it to Zora or Superior or any of the other NFT platforms, right? And they can take their audience with them as well. If we peel back the curtain a little bit and take a look at the actual infrastructure and how the Web2 video application is built, right? We see that on the bottom left we have the video source, right? Video can either be uploaded as a file, or they can be live streamed as a broadcast stream. It gets ingested into a media server. And this media server is crucial for serving that video content, right? And because it speaks all these different video protocols, understands video codecs and things like that. The media server usually transcodes the video with a transcoding engine, and it can store the video into an object store or distribute that through a content delivery network into a video player that's in the browser. And of course, on the other side, right, applications usually have a database that stores kind of user information, and as well as server logic that, for example, brings up recommendation engines and things like that that are custom to the application itself. So if we go to the Web3 world, we see that a lot of these blocks are still in play, right? But they're swapped out to be replaced by decentralized solutions, right? And these decentralized solutions are public by nature. And so, for example, the video still gets uploaded and still gets streamed in, but instead of into a media server that's run by a proprietary, by a company, it's streamed into a decentralized streaming network, right? That then, stores the video into a decentralized storage system like like a IPFS, Filecoin, or Arweave. It can get distributed by a decentralized CDN, and at the same time, the database is swapped out by with a blockchain, right? So the blockchain address is now the representation of the user identity, and of course, we also have the smart contract and the decentralized query layer to power these decentralized applications, right? So if we come back and revisit what this stack looks like, right? At the bottom, we have the smart contract layer that gives us token standards, gives us ways to transfer value, gives us ways to create identity, right? It can plug into DeFi. It can give us these decentralized coordination mechanisms like DAO creation and things like that. And that's kind of the foundational layer of the source of these decentralized, the source of decentralization, right? But on top of that, we have these Web3 infrastructure layer that allows applications to be built in a decentralized way. Because at the end of the day, in order to build applications, we still need infrastructure to power these applications, right? So these are kind of decentralized storage solutions, decentralized data query solutions, or like decentralized video streaming solutions, all for powering these Web3 video applications, right? And we're starting to see these applications pop up in the kind of these different verticals like decentralized social, NFTs, Metaverse, even like video-specific wallets or commerce use cases. Right? So let's take a look at the primitives of Web3 video, right? Like what does Web3 video have that that's different from Web2 video, right? What are some of the new things that people can use, developers can use to build new types of applications? The first one is video-based NFTs, right? So NFTs are basically represent digital ownership, right, of some digital asset. And in this case, because video is a native digital asset, right, video NFTs represent the digital ownership of a video. And this is quite significant because as soon as you have ownership, you have commerce opportunities. People can trade the ownership of these videos. People can attach royalties to these ownerships. So for example, you can say, for the original creator of a video, the creator will get a percentage of all the trades that happen on this video in perpetuity, right? Another interesting aspect to this is because these NFTs are public data by nature, right? They're not stored in a centralized database. You can have multiple applications that are built on top of the same video assets. That starts to get really interesting, right? Because in the Web2 world, once a video is uploaded into YouTube, that video is viewed in YouTube, right? It's shared in YouTube, and it's living in the YouTube realm, right? And YouTube doesn't allow you to easily export that video out of YouTube. And in fact, it's against the user agreement. But in Web3, it's the opposite, right? When users are uploading videos into Web3 infrastructure, they own it, and they're just simply uploading it through an application interface. But at the end of the day, that video can be taken into other application interfaces. So multiple applications can be built on top of the same video assets, and that gives us a much more a pretty open space to explore, right? So for example, it encourages this mod culture where people can take an existing video, modify it, create a new video. This is actually quite a popular behavior on TikTok, right? People are kind of copying dance moves and things like that. But also, this serves as an important tool for community building, where videos can be kind of exclusive content for a community of users or token holders and things like that. Right? Moving on to the second point, which is video and smart contract integration. That's a new primitive for Web3 video, right? So this, for example, gives us the ability to create a completely decentralized video application. And some of these features can include, token-gated video libraries or token-gated live streams. But it also gives us the ability to decentralize the video production process, right? We're starting to see DAOs or Web3 communities come together and fund the creation of video. For example, we're starting to see some documentaries about the decentralized tech space, crowdfunded using kind of Web3 based primitives, and even creating liquidity using DeFi principles, all to encourage content creation. And finally, the Metaverse is, I think, a really interesting building block for introducing video experience, because there's just a lot of need in terms of streaming into and out of the Metaverse, right? We're seeing all kinds of interesting examples that we'll go into later. So yeah, with all these new primitives, what are the actual opportunities that we see in Web3 video? Well, one is, for the creator economy, right? NFT e-commerce is starting to become a pretty normal use case, right? We have these popular NFT platforms where creators are coming in, creating NFTs. We're increasingly starting to see video-based NFTs being created. So yeah, I think there's a lot of room to explore in terms of what a video-native NFT platform will look like. So applications like Glass.xyz is actively exploring in this area. Another interesting sector is kind of these creator community tools that are popping up, Mirror being a really good one, kind of the Web3 version of Medium, right? But it gives people the ability to do crowdfunds or launch tokens on the writing that they do. And we're starting to see creator tools that are popping up for video specific use cases too. Web3 powered fandom, right? This is a pretty interesting vertical. NBA Top Shot is probably the most famous example here in a video based NFT use case, right? But we're starting to see all kinds of interesting celebrities coming into the space, trying to find new ways to connect with their fans through these Web3 native opportunities. Decentralized social application is another interesting area that we're starting to see some development. So Portal is kind of a Web3 version of Twitch. Beam, I would say it's a mix between like a Web3 Twitch and YouTube. Discover is kind of like a Web3 version of Reddit. So we're and there are like some interesting communities that are forming around these Web3 decentralized social projects. Some of these projects offer a token so that the users can actually become an owner of the platform instead of just being a product of the platform. And some of them have even more interesting kind of incentive mechanisms to encourage content creation on the platform. Right? We're already starting to see people streaming in and out of the metaverse, right? So we have kind of both, kind of real world people creating content to be viewed in the metaverse. So on the bottom left, right, we see this woman kind of creating a metaverse native kind of video experience, and we also see video being streamed out of the metaverse into the real world. Right, we're starting to see these kind of anime characters who are the celebrities. Right, so these are completely made up celebrities that are super popular. On the top left, we see like a real world concert of these animated characters. Going into the developer toolkit a little bit, I'm going to show you a few things that Livepeer has built over the years to help you build Web3 based video applications. This one is a video NFT API that we recently built. It's a really simple way for anyone to create video-based NFTs. So, a two-step process, right? The first is you export your API key from livepeer.com into your local environment, right? So here, I'm kind of copying the API key over to my local environment. And second is, I'll pick a video that I want to use to mint an NFT. Right here, I have my dog playing in the snow, having just a wonderful time. Now I want to mint that video as an NFT, right? So all I do is, I have this script. There's also a kind of npm package for this. So when you execute this, it'll do a few things. One is it uploads this video into the Livepeer network. Second is that it processes this video to optimize it for kind of video online streaming to make sure it's actually optimized for streaming and it's viewable. And then it packages all that information into a nice metadata blob to get it ready for minting, right? So now you have this token URI that's already well formed, and you can use this to simply issue an NFT by calling a transaction. And in this case, I'm doing it on the I think on the Rinkeby testnet. And now I'm just waiting for the transaction to confirm, and once it's confirmed, we'll see there's a transaction ID, and we can even go into the testnet version of OpenSea to immediately see this minted NFT. Right, so we'll go there, and we'll see that. Great, here is my dog playing in the snow as an NFT. Another tool that we've been working on for a long time is this live streaming API tool that allows you to create kind of a Twitch-style video streaming application within 15 minutes. This is a pretty easy to use tool, and it's built on top of the Livepeer network, kind of like a hosted gateway service for the Livepeer network, and leverages the network to be able to provide streaming service at a super affordable rate. Another piece of technology we recently open sourced, it's called MistServer. This is a really powerful video streaming media server that allows you to build kind of a video infrastructure, right? It has a deep integration with the Livepeer network, so you can deploy an instance of MistServer and be able to run a large amount of traffic through that MistServer, kind of utilizing the Livepeer network for scaling out that computation. Right. And finally, we have a kind of an in-browser broadcasting tool called webrtmp. So this allows you to kind of create an application that allows anybody to broadcast a live stream from within a browser instead of needing people to download a broadcasting software like an OBS. Right. There's some good demo applications that you can take a look at the Livepeer GitHub repo. For this hackathon, Livepeer is putting up $5,000 of total prize. The first place prize is for the best video NFT platform using the Livepeer NFT API, right? So that's kind of the demo that I showed a little earlier. Definitely go check out the resources and the tutorials at the Livepeer Hacker Quick Start Guide. We walk through exactly how to use it, and you can use it to start creating your own NFT platform or even adding NFT functionalities into an application that you're creating. Another prize that we have is for $2,000 going to the best decentralized game streaming or creator platform, right? So this is a pretty open-ended prize. We'd love to see your creativity around how to use Web3 to create interesting incentivization schemes that allow people to want to create content or to create liquidity for their viewers, passing the value to their to the users of the streaming platform instead of kind of having the platform keeping all the profit. And of course, last but not least, Livepeer is hiring. We're hiring across engineering, product, marketing, and developer evangelism. So if you're interested, definitely go take a look at livepeer.com/jobs, where we have posted all the jobs. So thank you very much, and we're looking forward to see you in the Discord hacker support channel. We have a lot of team members there. Love to help you on your hack, talk through your ideas. Yeah, thank you. Bye.